Once again, this is Tom, and today I'm going to build a Boy Scout first aid kit out of the items that are on this table. And I'm going to stick as closely as I can to the requirements with some minor adjustments. This first aid kit is to be used for the tenderfoot requirement 4D, second class requirement 7B, and the first aid merit badge requirement 2D. And these are as of August 2016. So let's first start out with the requirements list. And since the first thing on the requirements list is adhesive bandages, 6. So I found this first aid kit for $1 to $1.50 at Walmart, and it has 6 bandages in it, so I'll let that suffice. And the second requirement is sterile gauze pads, 3x3 inch. I bought a larger pack of gauze for around $3, and I separated it out to take these and put them in a sandwich bag. Of course, my hands were clean when I did that because I wouldn't want to contaminate them. And if you're working with your patrol, you can buy things in larger amounts and then separate them to save money. And adhesive tape. Here's some tape that was around $3, so that's the same thing. I had to separate, I'll separate that out, maybe wrap it around a pencil, and the tape itself won't be touching a wound, so it doesn't have to stay perfectly sterile. And also Moleskin, 3x6 inch, need 1. So this Moleskin is a different size. It is actually 4 5/8 inch by 3 3/8 inch. And I would imagine your counselor would be okay with that, since there are 3 in the package and they can be stacked side by side or overlapped if necessary. Also, soap. It says 1 small bar. And this bar of soap came from some hotel. It was left behind by someone who had not used it at all. So it's still sealed, and so I snagged it, decided to use it for this first aid kit. And antiseptic. This one's a little bit subjective. It says 1 small tube. I have a small tube of antiseptic. It's a Equate brand triple antibiotic ointment. And I also have one of these packs that came inside of another first aid kit that I dismantled. So either one would work for me. Depends on what your counselor means by that. Also depends on how much you think you're going to use in an emergency. So my take on it is the smaller pack would work just fine. And some scissors. These scissors I found in the sewing department at Walmart for $1.50. They are cheaper than the medical scissors that you find for around $3.50 over in the health and beauty aids. So it made more sense to me. Plus they seem to be sturdy and will do the job. Next is latex gloves. I picked vinyl gloves. I have a box of vinyl gloves. I used them out of that. And it made more sense to get the box and then separate them, especially if you're working with your patrol. But you can also buy a pack of 4 gloves, maybe 6 gloves for around $1, $1.50. Also says mouth barrier device. This one's the tough one. Had to order this off of Amazon. I ordered 5 of them for $10, so they turned out to be about $2 a piece. But that's something that was very hard to find locally. I did find them in a local medical supply store. However, they were a lot more than $2 a piece. So best bet is to be prepared. Order them early. Like I said, order them from Amazon, and you see the brand on them. However, if you type in CPR mouth barrier, you will find various brands and availabilities. And also plastic goggles. Oh, let me mention a little bit more about this mouth barrier. It has a one-way valve, so if you're performing CPR breaths, if you've been trained on how to do breaths for CPR, this is what you would use, and it has a one-way valve so that nothing gets back in your mouth when you are performing CPR. Next item is plastic goggles or other. I chose these 3M goggles. They're kind of work goggles, but they work for splash and impact, and they were around $3.50 at Walmart. Also, pencil and paper. So that pad of paper cost me 27 cents, and the pencil was free because I pulled it out of the kitchen drawer. Everybody has a drawer full of pencils somewhere. So all in all, it was about $16, including this handy dandy case that I'm going to put everything in to keep the goggles from getting smashed. And it was about $16 to put this together, which I think is kind of steep. You can probably work with your patrol, buy things in larger amounts, and come out better than that. However, this fits the bill. It satisfies the requirement. If a scout brought this to me for satisfying his requirement for the merit badge, I would sign off on this. That's all.